as they will not even be eligible to vote for 2028. Which then brings us to the matter of impeachment. Bilang isang kaibigan, I will not violate the confidence of a few members of the House of Representatives who have either recorded conversations or participated in shared conversations regarding each impeachment proceedings against me. Nonetheless, this is nothing new. Talks of impeachment have been ongoing for several months now. In fact, a member of the lower house has publicly declared in an interview where she was quoted by the Philippine Daily Inquirer saying that in light of the possible numerous violations of the OVP on the use of the 125 million confidential fund, which is not in the 2022 General Appropriations Act, we are not discounting the fact that it may file an impeachment case against the Vice President. Surprisingly, despite the absence of proof as to any wrongdoing, she already revealed the grounds for impeachments when she was also quoted saying as, especially on the misuse of public funds, technical malversation, and violation of the 1987 Constitution. Madam Chair, I do not understand bakit a person convicted of child abuse is still sitting in a seat.
Point of order, ito yung sinasabi natin na dinadivert ang usapan sa ating budget hearing. Kung nagawa po niya yan sa Senado, Madam Chair, dapat hindi natin yan pahintulutan dito sa Kamara.
You allowed her a snide comment and then you will not allow me?
Please wait
A snide comment?
Excuse me, our members and our guests.
I warn you.
Please wait.
Don't go to this rabbit hole.
Please wait to be acknowledged before you speak. Okay, so at this point, Honorable Manuel.
Madam Chair, again, it's another point of order kasi kapag may mga deliberation tayo, we should stick to the topic. Hindi pwede, Madam Chair, na dinadivert natin yung usapan para hindi natin sagutin yung tanong ng mga mambabatas natin. This is actually the best opportunity, formal proceedings, nakikita po ng publiko para malaman anong sagot ng Vice Presidente. So hindi po natin napapayagan ang ganong mga argumento na hindi naman tumutumbok dun sa topic natin.
So, Madam Vice President, there's a question.
Easy for you.
Please make your responses direct to the point.
Sige, ma'am. I will make this easy for you. What rules are we using for this budget hearing?
We have our rules.
Yes, ma'am.
Adopted by the Committee on Appropriations.
Right, okay. We searched for that rule. So, we only found the general rules. So, we have a copy of the rules for the budget hearings.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, mas importante ang rules para sa amin. Kayo po, ang kailangan nyo lang marinig is yung acknowledgement for you to begin to speak. Yun lang po ang pinaka-importante para sa guests. Sa totoo lang po.
Yes, ma'am.
So, ang pinaka-importante, yes, you may proceed. At saka po yung adjournment. Yun lang po. Yung termination po. Yun ang pinaka-importante lang po.
Like to forgo the opportunity to defend the budget in a question and answer format. I will leave it up to the House to decide on the budget submitted.
Madam Vice President, we have 17 members listed for interpellation, and as you know, you've been here many times for our budget briefing, that this is an important part of the budget briefing. The GAA, the General Appropriations Act, is arguably the most important piece of legislation every year, at kasama po ito ang pagtatanong at pakikinig po sa sagot po ninyo ay napaka-importante pong input sa aming pong trabaho. So, yun po, kami po we will proceed to ask questions.
Madam Chair, my answer for every question will be, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the budget of the Office of the Vice President through a question and answer. And I will leave it to the House to decide on the budget submitted. So, magsasayang tayo ng oras dito, paulit-ulit yung sagot.
That is acceptable to us. Unless I hear any objection, that is acceptable to us.
Okay.
Because it is, I believe, karapatan din po ng bawat Pilipino na marinig po nila ang katanungan po ng 17 po na nakalista sa ngayon. Palagay ko, kung meron pong dadating dito, baka dumagdag po. Pero marami pong issues na hinaharap po tayo ngayon. Kayo po mismo, nakikinig po kami sa inyong speech po kanina, kahit na hindi po siya related po sa ating budget. Marami pong na-spark na mga tanong, kaya palagay ko, kaya nga sinabi ko kanina, ilimit natin ang mga tanong tungkol sa budget. So, yun po. So, kung kayo po ay binigyan po namin ng pagkakataon na i-share po ang insights, kami po ay magsasabi din po ng aming mga katanungan. So with that, the Deputy Minority Leader,
Madam
Franz
Chair,
Castro, may now proceed. With all due respect,
I will not
Madam Chair.
repeat my question every time, my answer every time there is a question. And may I seek permission that every time there is a question, that is my answer.
Madam Chair, I will call you and you can do as you please, Madam Chair. But I will recognize you.
Okay. And then, Madam Chair, may I be given the opportunity to explain why I will not and I will forgo the opportunity to defend the budget in a question and answer in the committee and leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the budget submitted.
Madam Chair,
Madam
point of
Chair.
order. Kasi po, tapos na ang presentation time kanina. So that was the opportunity for the resource person para magsalita. So now we have formally entered the interpellation period. So mas mainam po na pakinggan na.
Meron bang human rights violation kung maraming pulis? Yun pong sabi nila. I don't think so. There's no... Anyway, the reason we did this was so that we could maintain the peace. The only way to maintain the peace is to make sure that the area is safe and is secure. And considering this is a 30-hectare compound, kailangan mo talaga ng maraming tao. Hindi mo pwedeng gawin ito na 100 pulis. Para hindi na bale yung mga lumalaban o yung mga nagre-resist, nanghaharang, hindi na bale muna yun. Para lang yung pag-inspeksyon ng 30 hectares, kailangan mo na kagad ng maraming tao. So, I do not see. I think what they are talking about is political na yan. Hindi na totoo yan. You go to any human rights advocate, there's nothing that we did. Lahat ng pumasok na pulis, hindi armado. Walang baril, kahit isa. Hindi kami gumamit ng tear gas. Wala kaming ginawang ganun. So anong human rights violation? Marami lang. Kung kukonti yun, mas marami pang nasaktan. Mas maraming nasaktan na supporter ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Maraming nasaktan na pulis. Dahil maglalaban. So kung marami, itapos ka agad ang problema. So that's what we done.
Mr. President. Surrender na lang po. Surrender na lang po.
Hindi ko nga maintindihan kung bakit dinadamay ni Kibuloy ang mga tauhan niya. Kasi sinasabak niya yung mga tauhan niya. Wala namang kasalanan yung mga yan. They just believe they're looking for an answer, a value system, and they think they have found it with Kibuloy. But they did not sign up to be in the front line of this kind of thing that's happening now, that they will protect him from arrest, even when he has cases filed against him, not only here in the Philippines, but also in the United States. So, I suppose I can understand their disagreement with us, even anger. But what all that the police are doing is enforcing the warrant of arrest against